Hello everyone, this is Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be continuing our unboxing series on the Season 1 content from Marvel United. Going today with a box that kind of ties into a recent movie release. So we're going to be looking at Enter the Spider-Verse. That's right, we're going to go with Enter the Spider-Verse. This is the original Spider-Person expansion that came out for Marvel United. I think it was actually the second to last expansion announced for the game. But because of the fact that it contains Kickstarter exclusive content and the next one we're going to be doing does not, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one. So let's go ahead and look at the cover right there. I didn't do this on the last video, but we've got Spider-Man here, Miles and Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, whatever she's going by these days, and Green Goblin. And if you have been following the channel for any considerable amount of time, you know that we went ahead and we've already actually played through this box. We've fought Green Goblin and we used the challenge mode in here. If you'd like to see how we did on that, then you can go look at the channel. Hopefully I'll have a link up here in the corner to that video if you would like to check it out. But yeah, so that is that. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the back of the box now and see what content is in here. We're going to go ahead and read some flavor text here. The Big Apple sleeps as the Green Goblin plots to sow chaos. While his henchmen kidnap and pillage their way across the city, the Goblin gathers the resources to perfect his secret formula and enhance his powers. But all is not lost. The Spider-Verse has been thrown wide open as Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, Miles Morales, and Spider-Ham combine forces to face the Green Terror head-on. They'll have to guard the secret identities as intrepid reporters take to the streets to report on their heroics during this massive crime wave. As it's already mentioned in the flavor text here, we do have Green Goblin, we've got Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, and the Kickstarter exclusive Spider-Ham. If you are not purchasing I think this expansion, usually on Amazon when I see it, is always I believe you can purchase it by itself. I do also see links to it where it's the core game, this expansion, and I think that like a Doctor Strange individual package box, which Doctor Strange comes in the Season 1 stretch goal box if you went that way. But like I said, I do see this box quite often and for some decent prices too. So but yeah, so there is that. Again, that box I do not believe has Spider-Ham. He was exclusive to the Kickstarter, as was with the previous two expansions that we covered, Beta Ray Bill and Gamora from Tales of Asgard and Guardians Remix. So let's go ahead and take a look at this box. And please note when we're taking a look at this game that we, like I said before, have already played through this content, so nothing's in shrink in here, and everything is also sleeved. The game does not come with card sleeves for you, and these are all my sleeves. So we're going to take a look here at the rule leaflet. This is going into a little bit more detail of what we just read, so I'm not going to read it again. This talks about the secret identity challenge, which will kind of go in here. This one to me is slightly more complicated than the previous ones that we've gone through. The Tales of Asgard is, going for the trader mechanic where everyone picks a loyalty card and whoever's the trader is the trader. Guardians Remix just adds the Plan B challenge, which is getting 3 more thugs, 3 more civilians, and clearing all the threats on the board, not just the first 4. And then when you do that, you technically win the game. You don't even have to fight the villain in that. This one's a little bit different. So we're going to go through here and read through the special setup for this. During setup, place a journalist token on each location adjacent to the hero's starting location, and another journalist token on the villain's starting location. And so there's 3 journalist tokens on the board. If you do something other than move, including using your special ability on your turn, you will gain 1 exposure token. And you can only get 1 token per turn. You can use a heroic action to move the tokens. To move the journalist tokens from location to location, which also does give you an exposure token, and if you have 3 exposure tokens, your secret identity has been known public, and a couple of things happen to you. You immediately take 1 damage, and on your next turn, you have to play your hero card face down. You still get the benefit from the previous hero card, but yours is face down, meaning that the person behind you or after you isn't getting any benefits. So, yeah, that's another challenge mode. Again, if you go on the channel, look through our gameplay series for Marvel United, we have played through this already, and you can kind of see how that mechanic works, and then decide whether or not you do want to go ahead and get this box here. So let's go ahead and remove the plastic cover from that one, and first we're going to take a look at the locations. There's 6 locations in this expansion, all relating to various Spider heroes, locations, all that kind of thing. So we've got the Oscorp Tower right here. We've got Queens right there. Then we've got Midtown High School, Peter Parker's old stomping grounds. We've got the Brooklyn Bridge. We got the Daily Bugle. And finally, we've got Oscorp Laboratories, whatever you want to say, right there. So there's all your locations that we are getting in this expansion, and then we're going to take a look at the Goblin dashboard. Now, as you can see on the back of the Goblin dashboard, there is a special setup to this particular fight. It says, do not place the threat cards and tokens on the locations. Keep the cards in a face-down threat deck and the threat token tokens in a side pool. So there is that. So basically, when you start, all the locations don't have a threat card. So technically, their end of turn effects are in play as soon as you start the game. Which you may or may not need. So, Goblin, he has 5 health for 2-player, 7 for 3-player, and 10 health for a 4-player game. Pretty middle of the road, a little bit on the stronger side too. Special rules: when a threat is cleared, shuffle it into the deck and add a threat token from the pool to the mission card. Green Goblin can't be damaged if there are any civilians on this dashboard. If you are in his location, you can use 2 heroic actions to rescue a civilian there. Bam! Deal 1 damage to each hero in Green Goblin's location, draw a threat card, and place it in the next clockwise location without a threat. Overflow: if 1 or more tokens can't be added to a location, draw a threat card and place it in the next clockwise location without a threat. And then the villainous plot, the heroes lose when all locations have a threat card. So he's basically re-adding all his threat cards to the board, and as soon as the entire board is full of threats, heroes lose. So there is that one right there, and we'll go ahead and take a look at, let's go ahead and move these cards. We'll take a look at the tokens first, so that are kind of moved around. So these are examples of the 3 journalist tokens that are on the board that you can move around the board, but they start, like the rules say, in the 2 adjacent locations to the heroes at the start of the game, and then the one across from them. So basically spaced out around there. And then these, as you can see, there are a ton of them. I'm assuming 12. But these are going to be the exposure tokens right there that you get. And if you'll notice, these are the cardboard version of the tokens on the channel. We used, when we did our gameplay, we did use the plastic versions. So there is that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our heroes. We'll start with this pile right here, and we've got Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man. He has a pretty good array of different heroic actions and movements. Few punches, but it's pretty good spread there. He's got his web sling, gain 2 movement tokens right there. And then what were his other abilities? This is the character I play too, so you think I would know. He's got great power, which is 3 punches all to himself for each thug defeated. With this special effect, gain 1 heroic action token. So there's that. So he's got a pretty good, and then great responsibility. Rescue up to 3 civilians in your location. For each civilian rescued with the special event, gain 1 punch token. So that is going to be Peter Parker's deck right there. We'll go ahead and look at Ghost Spider next. So she's got Web Dancer here. You cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. So that's a pretty good buff there. And let's see, Web Weaver, swap 2 threat cards in play, and then Acrobatic Fighting, defeat all thugs in your location. So she's got a pretty good mix of abilities with her. I do like, I understand the reasoning in the game for some characters to have just the same special ability in some cases, but I do like when they have a variety. Let you more think about what you're going to do a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I don't know. So we're going to have Miles, star of new movies. Here he's got his Venom Strike, 2 punches against a single enemy in your location. Right there. And then what else we got? Web and Invisibility. Web, if you are in the same location as the villain, delay the next villain turn by 1 card. And then Invisibility, you cannot take any damage until the beginning of your next turn. So there's that one. That's actually a pretty cool card. I didn't get to play as Miles during our one playthrough, so I didn't actually see the card art on these. And then we're going to look at our Kickstarter exclusive character, Peter Porker. That's him right there. And let's go ahead and take a look at his abilities. He's got a bunch of movement, some punch and punch and punch, tons of punch in there. Not many heroic actions. There's his wilds, and then he's got Toonie Essence. Until the beginning of your next turn, you cannot be forced to discard your last card. Toonie Web. If you end your turn in the villain's location, negate the next villain movement, and then Toonie Weapon, punch in any location. So we got that going right there. So there is all of Peter Porker's cards right there. And then now finally, well, not finally because we stopped looking at the miniatures, but we will take a look at Green Goblin's deck. So we'll take a look at this deck first. Green Goblin formula. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, Green Goblin has 1 extra health and deals 1 extra damage with his BAM. It's a 0 movement. Just punch whatever's in your way right there with whatever's sharing location with him. Let's see. I think most of his cards move in the clockwise manner. Kidnap. If there are any civilians in Green Goblin's location, take 1 and place it on his dashboard. That's going to be his other main card there. I think it's just 2 of the same. Yep. Goblin formula. Yep. So those are the two copies of each, but the 2 special cards in his deck. And then we've got threat cards using civilians as shield. Using civilians as shield, Green Goblin cannot take any damage as long as there are any civilians in this location. Deal with that with heroic actions. And then let's look at the thugs later. We've got 2 copies of Corporate Thugs. When this threat is placed, add 1 thug to this location. Each thug in this location requires 2 damage to be defeated. Take care of that again with heroic actions. And then he's got his minions in the game, which, sure. He's got a 5-hit Lizard. BAM, deal 2 damage among heroes in this location. Heroes choose how to split the damage. So there is the Lizard. And then we've got Craven. BAM, move this threat to the next clockwise location with any heroes and no threat. If possible, deal 1 damage to each hero in that location. And then the final minion is going to be Electro. BAM, deal 1 damage to each hero in both adjacent locations. So there is that. Now, I'm pretty sure I would have to go back and look it up. And maybe I will go ahead and look it up right now. So yeah, I just went ahead and looked it up. Electro and Craven were already in Sinister Six as far as characters with figures in them. Lizard was not, and I believe he just got added in during Multiverse, and he's going to have that ability where he adds tokens or does something in between the locations. That's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, so that is going to be all the threat cards and everything for Green Goblin. And then the last card in the box is the card that basically explains the secret identity challenge and how exactly that works. So if you need that, there's that. So let's go ahead and now take a look at our miniatures. So the first one we're going to take a look at, going from left to right, is going to be Green Goblin. It does have one from any expansion, does have one of my favorite models, just how intricate it is. Trying to get into some of these to like paint his chest and stuff like that is going to be kind of a pain, you know, without being able to take the figure apart or anything like that. So, but he still has a pretty cool design there. And then we've got Peter Parker right here, the altered version. This character did have a different sculpt in the original Kickstarter, and then due to fan demand, CMON went ahead and changed the sculpt, which was pretty nice. But so that's why we have that one there, and then we are getting new versions of Peter Parker in the in different costumes in Multiverse. There is Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy right here. And then we got Miles Morales, Spider-Man right there. And then finally, for our Kickstarter exclusive hero, we have Spider-Pig. Or Spider-Ham. That's what it is, Spider-Ham. Spider-Pig's a different thing. Alright, so that is those figures there. So that is all the content for Marvel United Enter the Spider-Verse. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, I have you go ahead and look at the video on the channel that we did where we played through this content. We did not use Spider-Ham. We only did, because there's only 3 of us playing, we only did the retail characters in this box. So we will be looking to use Spider-Ham in something else. The Kickstarter box has the Kickstarter stretch goal box has quite a few villains that we also need to use, and we might have to do some at some point some rematch games because our win-loss record is not that good. So there is that. So if you guys want to see us play through this content with another with other characters, we do have to get through the Sinister Six box, both the main challenge mode, and I would kind of like to do the, what do you call it, each individual one, if you guys are interested in tuning in for that. So we might see Spider-Ham and the spiders, rest of the spiders jump back in for that one. We also do have, I know, Spider-Man 2099, the season 1 versions in there. I can't remember all the other spiders. There's like I feel like there's like 300 characters in the game now. They're trying to remember who everybody is. So anyway, that is going to be that for this unboxing video. We still have, as far as unboxings go, the Black Panther box would be on the lookout for that and gameplay for that one soon. But until then, thank you guys for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.